Taking a look at Dogecoin, we can see that Dogecoin has undergone a very large correction. However, at face value, it is beginning to look a lot like the previous move in the end of last year, where we kind of just floated higher and pulled back along the way. So one would make the case that we are potentially building something similar to that. How would we be able to confirm that? Well, the first case would be made that we would have to break over the downtrend, which as of right now, we have not actually done. However, we're getting closer and closer to the downtrend. So if we actually compare to back here, we can see that once we broke the 618 retracement, we actually went on a parabolic rally. So we can actually assume that once we get out of the downtrend and the 618 this time around, we may also see a parabolic rally. That price happens to be 29.5 cents, which would suggest that as long as Dogecoin is below that price, there's no reason to assume that it's going to rally higher and make a new high for the bull run. However, once it gets over 29 cents, we could make the case that because we broke to 618 and made a new high back here, there's a very high chance that that would happen again. Obviously, as long as Dogecoin is below the downtrend, there is no reason to assume that it is bullish. And again, in the other direction, we would want to see the support hold, which would end up being the 618 and the 382, as you can see from the low up to the high. Unfortunately, Dogecoin has already broke the 382 retracement at 20 cents, which would suggest that a move down to 16 is in play, and staying over 16 cents would suggest that another move back to the downtrend is in play. Obviously, if Dogecoin falls below 16 or 17 cents, then the top is in for the foreseeable future, and a very large move down to the low would most likely take place. If we don't actually go down to 17 and we reverse, then again, the downtrend in the macro picture must break, and we need to see Dogecoin get over the 0.5 at 25 and the 618 at 29.5 in order to say that Doge is officially bullish, in my opinion.